Okay, for the record, I am the homeowner. I'm not going to state the name of the individual here, but check this out. This individual has been the most discriminative classification of a tenant for an African American who could not appreciate a white Caucasian who has grown up without ever saying a single racial slur toward another person. Never uttered it, never spoken it, never even wanted to say it. Never even had the urge to say it. The light is on right now because you can hear a fan on in a room that's unoccupied to a resident that is due to leave. Unfortunately, they came all the way over here from California, and the classic spitting image in the statement I heard back when in my earlier 20s, I'm only 31 now. This individual is 27. I won't state the name, but the classic profile of somebody who is the most, I guess, battle hurt and discriminatively, pungently disrespectful to somebody, especially during this pandemic. Still, we are being affected by this. COVID has crushed most average rental places, and that includes single individual homeowners who rent out their places or even apartments. In this situation, a mere 4 months in, I encountered someone who I thought was an upfront, honest person, but in fact was your classic style West Coast. Not saying everybody, in my opinion, is the same, amongst that of which is associated with the West Coast. And in this statement is the statement I heard when I was in my earlier 20s, never having been to the West Coast, but I was curious. I actually looked this up and I saw it on the internet, and it got a lot of upvotes back then. Now, I'm a Generation X baby. I was born in '89. I have been in we'll say, life grown up, and still you're hearing this fan going on. There's not going to be a view of anything above this door frame. But what I do want you to basically see is that this individual intentionally leaves the lights on in my house. They intentionally leave the fan running. And this has been something that's been going on very frequently with this individual. I only just started recording this because I have been trying my best to try to get them to cooperate and work with the politeness of not wasting energy and conserving the planet. Just general house costs. And this individual thinks by leaving a fan running and leaving a light on, they're going to drive my bill sky high. In fact, it just insults a good tenant's normal mannerisms, where you have somebody that appreciates a house. They appreciate what they got. And turning the light off, you'll see there's a light on in the bedroom. The light on from the camera would block that view because the light is so bright. So this has been going on all day today. This light has been on and the fan has been running, and there's been nobody in the room present from this individual. And they're doing this in spite of me because they don't like to follow polite, kind courtesy rules and respect. We're talking slamming doors, even with somebody who I helped come into my home, who now resides downstairs in my downstairs living room. Won't mention their name because that's their own private confidentiality. But they got out of an awkward place with somebody who was inappropriate toward them, female speaking, and a male who was inappropriate. I'm a nice individual, but I'm no goody-goody two-shoe. And certainly when it comes to renting out my property, I do that because I keep my rent low and affordable, while I still get the advantage of being able to afford to keep this place and share it with others, because that's a part of what most homeowners and tenants and landlords should do. This is a simple image of just letting you understand this individual has been proudly and defiantly wasting power, wasting water. The most spiteful thing I caught today was this individual turning on the hot water in the upstairs bathroom and leaving it running with the light on as if somebody was here. And I fortunately caught it. And water is a rare commodity in America. Many Americans who don't know this already, they often don't appreciate us in America having drinking water. Water in America is a perishable source. And it's not going to be around in the future, even in my lifetime, as common as it is now. I mean, where I live in my county on the Space Coast in Florida, we have shortages every year where they tell us we cannot water our yards because just a little thing like conserving water is important to the city where I live. And I'm sure if you know what I'm talking about, if you live in that kind of area and you hear that, that's a clear indication of how serious the water crisis is going to become for America. That's why the Midwest and California and other places are turning into a dust bowl. It may be a scary thing to bring up, even for myself included, but if you live on the East Coast, you're fortunate to have still, subtropical climate, rain, and precipitation, which a lot of people can complain about. I don't, but we will deal with flooding on the opposite side, even if it's rain we didn't ask for, because a little fun fact is if you remove all the trees and you destroy all the Earth's surface, you erode away from the Earth's ability to keep the surface cool, because the trees can no longer hold and store cool temperature, and therefore that displaces air above, which then moves clouds and precipitation to places that never normally got rain, and some places that needed it now will no longer get it because it's been removed. So this is day one that I'm catching this, and this individual left, and they've been gone pretty much all day today. They came back one time, just once. Just one time. So, just once, all day today. But that has been going on, and you got to tell me how that's even possible. Keeping a fan running in an unoccupied room doesn't circulate or cool down the room. It only circulates and cools down an individual, one person that the fan is blowing on or blowing around. It will do no good for the remainder of anything in that room. Even the electronics aren't going to get cooled down, even if this individual left them on, which I've caught numerous times. Things being left on, like TV, loud blasting, and you can hear it all the way down. And I'm not going to deny that this house came with its own faults, and this individual tripped my circuit numerous times, so it was their fault for leaving too much on, because the contractors who built my home unfortunately wired this bedroom and this bedroom, including my bedroom, which is over there in the dark, and even the bedroom over there yonder with that light, and I just quickly flashed. Don't mind my mess on the floor. But yeah, this is day one officially, and we are pending an attorney notice that was just served today to this individual. Won't state the matter, but essentially they threw down a verbal notice, and that's not even legal in my state, at least in my county, because I got told by my attorney this individual actually has to do a written formal piece of paper confirming that they will be removing themselves and leaving, and to ensure my own safety and my protection as a homeowner, so that somebody else can get a fair advantage moving in here, which I have somebody waiting on hold, thankfully, somebody who did inquire for this room, but the individual here that is so uncivil. It's very sad. Come from California and enact that statement, which I didn't get to say yet because I got off topic talking about other things, but the statement essentially is West Coast people will stab you in the back, East Coast people will punch you in the face. And the definition of what I've been dealing with this individual, sadly, is a very poor persona toward treatment of the homeowner. That's me. And in some cases, a lot of the times, using discriminative language like the N-word, which I've never even uttered in my life toward anybody, not even a Mexican or Spanish person or El Salvador. I've never even used the N-word. I've never even used the S-word to refer a discrimination language, which I know of, which is referred to very discriminatively by some Caucasians and others in this country, including African Americans, who hate and despise Spanish people. I have never used that language. This individual is 27 and has so much hatred. I have seen it, not toward my property, but behind my back and toward everybody else. And the reason why I show and define this caption of this recording of this underside of this door, why it's so purposeful, it's proof of evidence of what I've been dealing with. It feels good to say it out loud that a Gen X baby like me didn't grow up in a world where I became ignorant to self-segregation in schools, where the schools never made us sit in, different places in the school, but they pretty much allowed us to segregate ourselves. And I always chose to sit down with anybody but my own color matching my same side after a period of time when I realized the jocks and the goths and the nerdy types were just not my same persona. I wanted to know what was going on in the ethnic background of people that were sitting on the other side that were into basketball or sports. And I wanted to get in conversations with them, and I found out there was more ethical humanity and humbleness and genuineness there, often than the silly petty conversations of your classic everyday nerdy or classic white persona. And I definitely have to say I have a lot of respect for all ethnic backgrounds except for those who don't know how to treat others. And that's something you need to take from what I'm sharing here today. If you go rent from a place, appreciate what you got and treat your landlord or homeowner and hold them also accountable if they don't do the same for you. This is Philip Mills, proud homeowner in Melbourne, not to a house that I will state or name, but that is the situation that I'm dealing with. And there you go. That's probably going to go on all night long. Thankfully, I have little canary cameras. And there's one down there. That's why you see the blue light in the camera. That one records the front. This one just records protectively this view here, cuts off right about right here, and even catches the stairway. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of damages based on this person's actions that has affected my power and so forth. But here is me in the light. That is me. There's my water. I'm going to go downstairs and get some ice. I have to go use it from a cube tray because this person broke my ice machine, which was already an old fridge, but whatever. The moral of the story is appreciate what you got and don't take for granted what you have, because classic definition of taking things for granted is somebody who has no appreciation. And I guarantee you this will be going on for a while. This light on, this fan running, thinking they're wasting my power, but truth be told, I found out that a fan doesn't even run more than $3 a month. So even if they pull this off for a week, I'm looking at probably a couple of bucks, if not even that. Like we're talking like $250, barely even $250, maybe $2.10, or maybe even $1.80. I don't know. It's petty stuff. It's a beautiful house, and I'm grateful to have it. And I'm signing out now. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.